Welcome my dear students. Today we are going to see the second chapter in 11th standard. The topic is basic algebra. And the very first concept is real number system. For that we have to recall the basic number systems. So for the basic first number system, it is by naturally we found that's why it called as natural, set of all natural numbers n denoted by capital N. It start with 1, 2, 3. So it is the natural way we discovered. Okay. And the second one is whole number. So that is the pride of India. We discovered that 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Set of all whole numbers W. And then integers Z. So 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. positive. Okay. And similarly minus 1, minus 2, etc. in the negative side. Set of all integers denoted by Z. Okay. And we have rational numbers. It is denoted by Q. It is of the form P by Q, where Q not equal to 0. That numbers are called as rational numbers. The numbers which are not rational is called as irrational numbers. Okay. The last we are dealing with real numbers. So all these number systems are subset of R. So N is a subset of W, W is a subset of Z, Z is a subset of Q, Q is a subset of R. So there is one more number system. It is called as the superset. So complex numbers, but it is not present here. It is in 12th standard. Okay. So now it is the superset of, up to this a real number is the superset of all this one. Okay. So remember the basic number system. So what are the properties of real numbers? So if we sum up any two real numbers, it is again a real number. If we multiply any two real number, it is again a real number. So for adding two numbers, consider three numbers, A plus B plus C is equal to A plus of B plus C. So associative, addition is associative. And if we add 0 with any real number, we are getting the same real number. If we multiply 1 with any number, we are getting the same real number. If we subtract or if we add the negative with the real number, we are getting 0. If we multiply the reciprocal of that number, we are getting 1. We can say the 0 is the additive identity, 1 is the multiplicative identity, it is negative is the additive inverse, and the reciprocal is the multiplicative inverse. We can say like that. Okay. And in real numbers, addition is commutative. A plus B is equal to B plus A. Similarly, multiplication is also commutative. AB equal to BA. So these are all the properties. Some more properties are there. If A less than B means B minus A is positive. A less than B means B minus A is positive. Likewise, there are many properties. If A less than B means, so A plus C less than B plus C. If you add anything, there is no same value, both the sides, there is no change in the inequality. Okay. And A less than B, then AX less than B. A less than means AX less than BX. If you multiply the same value on both sides, there is no change in the inequality. If A less than B, okay, then AY greater than BY, where Y is negative. If you multiply by a negative, there must be a change in the inequality. So remember the basic properties of real numbers. So this is we are going to use in the first exercise. Number 1 in the exercise 2.1, set of numbers given. Our aim is to classify these numbers of the family given below. So our aim is to identify it is a natural number or rational number or irrational or integer. Okay. So look at the first one. Obviously it is an irrational number. So root 7 belongs to R minus Q. Okay. So next, minus 1 by 4, obviously it is a rational number, it is a member of Q. And 0, it lies in both where integer and rational numbers. So belongs to Z as well as Q. Okay. Now what is that one? 3.14 and 22 by 7 both are belongs to rational numbers. Okay. And what about that one? What about this one? 4. 4, it lies in both natural number, rational number and integer, belongs to n as well as z as well as q. It's very basic question. Okay, it is they are checking are you well versed in basic number system or not. That is question number 2 in the exercise 2.1. The question is, prove that root 3 is an irrational number. So in mathematics, a similar question is given in the examples in the name of theorem 2.1. Root 2 is an irrational number. If anything is not proved by us directly, okay, so we have to follow the method of contradiction. That is called as proof of contradiction. If anything is not possible to prove in direct, okay, so we will use that proof of contradiction. Our aim is to prove root 3 is an irrational number. On the contrary, we assume, suppose root 3 is a rational number. Okay, on the contrary, we are assuming root 3 is a rational number. That means root 3 can be expressed as some m by n or p by q, where both m and n are positive integers. Both m and n are positive integer and no common factor greater than 1. That is the condition of that rational number. Okay. So squaring on both sides, we are getting m square by n square equal to 3. So m square equal to 3n square. Okay. So which means m square is divisible by 3. Implies m is also divisible by 3. Okay. So that means m is some multiple of 3. Okay. So replace here. So 3k the whole square, 9k square equal to 3n square. Okay. So now cancel by 3. So n square equal to 3k square. So n square is also divisible by 3. So n is also divisible by 3. So what we take initially, m and n are positive integer and they have no common factor greater than 1. But both m and n have the common factor 3. So m and n have the common factor 3, which is a contradiction to our assumption. Okay. So which is a contradiction. Okay. So what is our assumption? Root 3 is a rational number. It is wrong. So what is correct? Root 3 is an irrational number. Okay. So this is called as proof of contradiction. Number 3 in the exercise 2.1. Are there two distinct irrational numbers such that their difference is a rational number? Justify. So in your book answer, it is given in a particular answer. So the question is this possible? The difference of two irrational number is a rational number. Yes. Is it? It is possible. Yes. That one is possible. In your book, they are given particular example. For example, 4 plus root 2 and 2 plus root 2. They are taken two numbers. Both are irrational. If you find out the difference, 4 plus root 2 minus 2 plus root 2 difference. So it is minus root 2 cancel. 4 minus 2, 2, which is a rational number. Okay. Or if you want, you can write generalize a plus root b and c plus root b. Okay. So where a and b are natural numbers, you can take your a, b, c are natural numbers. You can take. Okay. So it is the third question. Now the question number 4 is find two irrational numbers such that their sum is a rational number. Can you find two irrational number whose product is a rational number? Answer for this question also yes. Okay. If you want, instead of that one, you can write two in particular examples. Okay. Our aim is to prove the sum is. So for example, 2 plus root 3, 2 minus root 3. So what is the sum? The sum is, so 2 plus root 3 plus 2 minus root 3, what we get? So 4, which is a rational number. So what about the product? 2 plus root 3 into 2 minus root 3, a plus b into a minus b, a square minus b square. So 4 minus 3, 1, which is also a rational number. Or if you want, write the general example. First one is a plus root b, second one is a minus root b, where a and b are natural numbers. If you want, you can write this also. Number 5, find a smaller number than 1 by 2 power 1000 and justify. Okay, now just listen. 2 power 1000 is less than 2 power 1001. Okay. So a power n is less than a power m, where n less than m. Both m, n and m are positive. Okay. So it is well known one. 2 power 1000 is less than 2 power 1001. If we take reciprocal, what will happen? Here 1001 is greater than 1000. So obviously 2 power 1000 is less than 2 power 1001. Okay, if we take reciprocal, 1 by 2 power 1000 is obviously greater than 1 by 2 power 1001. If we take reciprocal, then there is a change in the inequality. So obviously, which is a number or positive number smaller than 1 by 2 power 1000. So next concept is absolute value of a number. Okay. So think of a real line. Suppose 0, it is the origin. Okay. So minus 4 is present here, plus 4 is there. Okay. So now consider this 4. So 1, 2, 3. It lies 4 distance after the origin. Similarly, look at here, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Minus 4 is also 4 distance from the origin. So the absolute value of 4 and absolute value of minus 4, both are 4. So that means absolute value of a number is nothing but a distance from the origin simply. So it is defined as absolute value of a number or modulus of x is denoted as x if x is 0 or positive, minus x if x is negative. So that is the definition of absolute value of a function. Okay. So there are some properties with the absolute value. Okay. So if we consider two numbers, so if absolute value of x plus y is equal to absolute value of x minus y, then xy equal to 0. Absolute value of x plus y equal to absolute value of x minus y, then x into y equal to 0. And if we consider the product of two numbers, absolute value of x into y, that means modulus of xy equal to modulus of x into modulus of y. Okay. Modulus of the product is equal to product of their moduli. Similarly, modulus of x by y equal to modulus of x by modulus of y, where y not equal to 0. And if we come to the addition, modulus of x plus y less than or equal to modulus of x plus modulus of y. This may be called as a triangle inequality. And come to the modulus property. Modulus of a number and its negative both are equal. Modulus of x equal to modulus of minus x. If we consider modulus of x equal to modulus of y, either x equal to y or x equal to minus y. So remember this basic concept. So absolute value is nothing but a distance from the origin. Okay. So distance from a number and the same negative, both are the equal. Okay. And these are the remaining are the if we use that equality, look at here, modulus of absolute value of x minus a equal to r, if and only r greater than or equal to 0, r is positive or 0, then either x minus a equal to r or x minus a equal to minus r. It is similar to that, just remember this. Okay. So next we are going to deal with inequality. Inequality means we can take less than or greater than or less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. Our aim is to solve the inequality. So what is a solution of a equation or inequation means what value satisfying that equation or inequation. For example, if a is a solution of the equation or inequation means replace x by a. If the a satisfies that equation or inequation, then a is called as the solution of the inequation or equation. Okay. So come to the inequations. Suppose modulus of x less than r and r is positive, greater than or equal to 0. If and only if x value lies between minus r and plus r. Remember this. This concept are very important to solve the next exercise. If modulus of x less than r, remember less than r means and r is greater than or equal to 0, x value lies between minus r and plus r. Okay. And second one, suppose modulus of x is absolute value of number is greater than r, then look at it is r value is positive or negative. Modulus of x greater than r and r is positive means either x less than minus r or x greater than plus r. Look at here, very important. If x less than modulus absolute value of a number is less than r means it lies between minus r and plus r. That means in the real number system, suppose it is r in minus r means x belongs to minus r comma r. It belongs to that. Or if there is a equation, we have to include closed interval. Okay. Suppose x is greater than r and r is positive, then x less than minus r. Less than minus r means look at this one, this interval minus infinity to minus r, and greater than plus r means up to infinity, r to infinity. So x belongs to minus infinity comma minus r union r comma infinity. So that x value lies in that interval. Okay. Suppose the same condition, modulus of x greater than r and r is negative means every real number satisfying this inequality. So remember this one, modulus of x greater than r and r is negative means every real number satisfying this condition. Remember this, absolute value of a number is nothing but a distance from the origin. So modulus of x value is x if x is positive or 0, minus x if x is negative. And remember the properties. Most probably remember this one, modulus of x less than r, x lies between minus r and plus r. Modulus of x greater than r means if r is positive means it is less than minus r and greater than r, it lies in the interval. Suppose there is a equation, okay, we have to include here, so we have to make it as a closed bracket. Okay. So if modulus of x greater than r and r is negative means every real number satisfying this condition. So look at the exercise 2.2, question number 1. There are 4 subdivision maybe. The first subdivision is absolute value of 3 minus x less than 7. So we have the condition, if modulus of x less than r and r is positive, then x lies between minus r and plus r. So remember that one. So with respect to that one, so 3 minus x lies between minus 7 and plus 7. Okay. So look at here. So add minus 3 on both sides. So minus 3 minus 7 minus 10 less than minus 3 plus 3 cancel. So what is that? Minus 3 plus 7, 4. Okay. So now multiply by minus 1. Multiply by minus 1. Okay. So what we get? 10. If we multiply by a negative, there is a change in the inequality. Greater than x greater than 4, or we can write that 4 less than x less than 10. So x lies between, okay, x lies between plus 4 and plus 10, and that may be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Question number 2, the absolute value of 4x minus by greater than or equal to minus 2. Already we have the result. If modulus of x greater than or equal to r, in the meantime r is less than 0, then every x belongs to r is a solution of this inequation. So it satisfying this condition. Okay. So every x belongs to r is the solution of this inequation. Subdivision 3, absolute value of 3 minus 3 by 4x is less than or equal to 1 by 4. Our aim is to solve this inequality. So look at the above condition. If modulus of x is less than or equal to r, then x lies between minus r and plus r. Here we can include the equal also. Okay. So use that one, write it here. So this value lies between r equal to 3 minus 3 by 4x less than or equal to 1 by 4 is a basic condition. So as like that one, look at here, add minus 3 on both sides, add minus 3. Okay. So minus 1 by 4 minus 3 less than or equal to, so my 3 minus 3 cancel, minus 3 by 4x, so less than or equal to 1 by 4 minus 3. So what we get? Take the LCM. So minus 13 by 4 less than or equal to minus 3 by 4x less than or equal to, so what we get? So minus 11 by 4. Okay. So same denominator we may leave that. Okay. So and leave that one. So minus 13 less than or equal to minus 3x less than or equal to minus 11. So multiply by minus 1. If you multiply by negative, there is a change in inequality. So 13 greater than or equal to 3x greater than or equal to 11. Now multiply by 3. Okay. Or we can change that. So 11 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 13 by 3. So divided by 3 and multiplying by minus, there is a change in the inequality. I am rewriting that, and dividing by 3 we are getting this one because we have to cancel this 3. So 11 by 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 13 by 3. If you want, you can write it in interval x belongs to closed interval 11 by 3 comma 13 by 3. Here also you can write x belongs to open interval 4 comma 10. Subdivision 4 in the question number 1. Absolute value of x minus 10 less than minus 3. So make a change, less than, change the side. So plus 10 minus 3 we are getting 7. So the same condition, if modulus of x less than r means x lies between minus r and plus r, the same condition. So minus 7 less than x less than 7. So x lies between minus 7 and plus 7, or we can write x belongs to open interval minus 7 comma 7. Question number 2 in the exercise 2.2. Solve this inequality and write the answer in the interval format. 1 by absolute value of 2x minus 1 is less than 6. Take the reciprocal. Absolute value of 2x minus 1, there is a change in the inequality, greater than 1 by 6. Or if you want less than means, here we have to include greater than or equal to. Okay. What about this one? I want to check the question once again. Okay. If you want, you can include or just leave that one, no problem. Okay, so look at here, my dear students. If modulus of x greater than r and r is positive, then either x less than minus r or x greater than r. This is the condition. X less than minus r or x greater than plus r. So 2x minus 1 less than minus 1 by 6 or 2x minus 1 greater than 1 by 6. So add 1 on both sides. So 2x less than minus 1 by 6 plus 1. So 2x less than, take the LCM. So 5 by 6. Okay. So what we are getting? 5 by 6. Similarly, 2x greater than 1 by 6 plus 1. So 2x greater than 7 by 6. Okay. So just to draw the real line, minus infinity plus infinity. So 5 by 6, I think it is less than 1, 0, 1 here. 5 by 6 means just less than 1. Okay. 7 by 6 means greater than 1. So 7 by 6. So this value is less than, here there is 2, we forgot to this one. So x less than 5 by 12, x greater than 7 by 12. So not 5 by 6 and 7 by 6. 5 by 12 and 7 by 12 both less than 1. Okay. So 5 by 12 may be here and 7 by 12 after that. Okay. So less than 5 by 12, that means minus infinity to that value, and 7 by 2 to infinity. So x belongs to minus infinity comma 5 by 12 union 7 by 12 comma infinity. That is the solution of this inequation in the interval format. Question number 3. Minus 3 into absolute value of x plus 5 less than or equal to minus 2. Just add minus 5 on both sides. So minus 3 into absolute value of x less than or equal to minus 7. Add minus 5. Okay. So now multiply by minus 3. So if you multiply by a negative, there is a change in the inequality. So absolute value of x greater than or equal to, okay, 7 by 3. So we know that if modulus of x greater than or equal to r and r is positive, then x less than or equal to minus r or x greater than or equal to plus r. So x less than or equal to minus 7 by 3 or x greater than or equal to 7 by 3. Here question, mark the solution in the real line. So draw the real line. Minus infinity plus infinity minus 7 by 3 plus 7 by 3. So here equality is there. So we have to put close bracket. Okay. Here open bracket. So x belongs to minus infinity comma minus 7 by 3 close interval union close 7 by 3 comma infinity. This is the solution of this inequality. So question number 4. Solve this and mark the solution and the real line. Inequality is given. So obviously look at here. So add 6 on both sides. So we are getting 2 into absolute value of x plus 1. 6 plus minus 6 plus 6 cancel, less than or equal to 7 plus 6 13. Okay. Next divided by or multiply 1 by 2. We can write divided by 2 or multiply 1 by 2. So absolute value of x plus 1 less than or equal to 13 by 2. Okay. If modulus of x less than or equal to r, then minus r less than or equal to x less than or equal to r. Okay. So minus 13 by 2 less than or equal to x plus 1 less than or equal to 13 by 2. So add minus 1 on both sides. Okay. So minus 13 by 2 minus 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 13 by 2 minus 1. So what we get? Minus 15 by 2. Take the LCM. Less than or equal to x less than or equal to 11 by 2. Sorry, 11 by 2. Okay. So again draw the real line. Minus infinity. Maybe minus 15 by 2 here. 11 by 2 here. And here plus infinity. Okay. So x belongs this interval. So closed interval. This is the solution set. So x belongs to closed interval minus 15 by 2 comma 11 by 2. So our aim is to mark the solution in the real line. 5 in the exercise 2.2. So solve this and find out the solution, mark it in the real line. So 1 by 5 into absolute value of 10x minus 2 less than 1. So obviously multiply by 5. So we are getting 10 absolute value of 10x minus 2 less than 5. So obviously same repeated, if modulus of x less than r and r is positive, okay, and x lies between minus r and plus r. Suppose r is negative means it is meaningless, no solution, okay. So minus 5 less than 10x minus 2 less than plus 5, okay, add 2 on both sides. So minus 3 less than 10x less than 7, okay. So now multiply by 1 by 10, okay. So minus 3 by 10 less than x less than 7 by 10, okay. So again no need to mark in the real line, we can write it directly. X belongs to open interval minus 3 by 10 comma 7 by 10. So absolute value is less than minus 2. So absolute value less than negative means it is meaningless, because absolute value is always positive. That's why this x has no solution, okay.